We're inside Montgomery Hall getting ready for Bison softball season here in 2026. Clayton Kaufman, Communications Director, with the head coach, Jace Brewer, who enters his second season. Coach, obviously we had a lot of fun last year. I know it didn't end how we wanted to, but we did win 26 of 32 games down the stretch, which is awfully impressive, and we made it to the GAC Tournament Championship. And now we have a lot of young ladies back to help keep this program at a high level. How excited are you for this coming 2026 season?
Very excited. It's much anticipated. Our girls are ready. We got 7 starters back. We got our ace back. We did good in the portal. We added to this roster where we ended last year, like you said, at 26-6 in our last 32. Really made a good run, and we're left out in that last spot before regionals. But we're ready to go this year, and I think our kids are ready to go.
I know at the beginning of last season, look, we had some growing pains early before we really got into a groove. How important is it for us this coming year to get off to a really good start, especially when we're on the road in Mansfield and Tahlequah and other places?
It's very important, and I know you can look back at like what didn't happen for us, but we could control the front end of our season. Yeah. We were 5-7 in the first 12. If we're 7-5, just 7-5, we're probably in a different situation.
Right.
But we grew, we fought, we showed a lot of toughness, a lot of grit, a lot of things that I think has been embedded in this culture to get us through last year, to get us into this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to her at the end of this, but it's Jaycee Shaffer. I thought she was the real reason we got to 36 wins last season. We lost a great pitcher from 2 years ago in Kaylee Jones. Jaycee came in and really set the tone in the circle and ended up with 18 wins. Again, I thought she was the storyline of the season. What's that like having a young lady and a pitcher of her caliber coming back for us this fall?
It's big. It's big. It's big for Jaycee. I think she had a breakthrough season last year. It's big for all 3 of these ladies that you're going to hear talk today, because those are the 3 that were all GAC conference, on the all GAC conference first team. They're back here leading us. We added another senior to the pitching room. And honestly, like it's a good spot to be in. We were there 2 years ago in a lot of ways. And I'm proud that I could say, hey, we're back here and we're going to make the most of this season.
I know you're aware, but you attained the most wins by a first-year coach in OBU softball history. What was that like coaching this program last season and having such a successful year?
It was hard at the beginning, kind of with the inexperience that we had, with the things that happened. We had 9 kids that graduated within 4 different classes, from juniors to seniors to 5th years to 6 years. Losing our head coach and pitching coach, losing 3 in the portal that went and played other places and were big, important pieces in those other places. For our kids to respond and do the things that they did and battle the way that we did through the season, even the way that it started, it allowed us to be put in a position in the end to be where we needed to be. And then this year, we're in a probably as good a position that this program's ever been.
Awesome. You mentioned some of the newcomers. I've heard the name Alexa Reyes. I've heard Ivy Walker. I've heard Chloe Randall, a pitcher. Can you kind of describe what the newcomers to this team might be able to provide for this team this year?
I think it gives us a lot of outfield depth. It gives us catching depth. It gives us pitching depth. The way that the game works today in the college world is you got to be good out of high school, you got to be good out of the JUCO, and you got to be good out of the portal. Most of the time, it's pretty neutral or negative when it comes to portal.
Yeah.
This year, it was positive.
Okay.
It was positive in the JUCO side of it, and it's been really positive with our freshmen. There's been a ton of kids that I think it's probably the deepest team, the most versatile team we've ever had, the fastest team we've ever had. Really, we can do so much that we've not been able to do in the past.
You mentioned versatility. Last year's team, I mean, we were stealing so many bags on a game-by-game basis. Kaylee Cook had an awesome year. The freshman was outstanding last season. But the team very awesome on the base paths. Describe what you see for this roster coming up ahead that they could improve upon from last year.
I think we'll get more bags, which is
really
tough. Yeah. I mean, I think we got 3 kids who could get 40 if they got on base.
Okay.
So then you throw the other 3 or 4 or 5 kids that can run a little bit into the mix. We're in a good position right now.
Final thought for you, keys to success for this season, and what do you think we can accomplish with this group of young ladies?
I think always in the circle is big in this sport. We got to be good pitching it. We got to be better defending it. I feel like the last couple of years we've struggled defending it at times. We got to be better defending the. And then we may not hit with the same power production this year, but we can do so much more within our lineup. Really just allow our kids to play, have fun, be present, and make the most out of this opportunity that we have in front of us.
Okay. Coach, I want to thank you for your time. Good luck next weekend in Mansfield, and we'll see you when you come back.
Thanks, Clayton.
You're welcome. That's second-year Bison softball coach Jace Brewer. When we come back, we'll have Greenlee Wells and Allie Ryan here on the Bison Sports Network.
Here at SCI Supply, you truly can purchase with purpose. Whether you're a university, a K-12 school, a local nonprofit, a church, or an individual, we have exactly what you're looking for. And 100% of the profit from your purchase stays here to fulfill the mission of providing vocational training, employment opportunities, and residential care to individuals with special need. So remember, how does your purchase make a purpose? By investing in South Central, the official office supply store of OBU Athletics.
We're back here on the Bison Sports Network. Clayton Kaufman, joined now by a couple of senior infielders, Allie Ryan and Greenlee Wells. All right, Allie, I'll start with you. We talked about the home run tally a couple of days ago. Tied for 5th in school history with 27 bombs. You had 18 a couple of years ago, the single-season record. How would you describe your experience so far with this softball program and being one of the key contributors?
Yeah, absolutely. This program is incredible. I mean, the love that occurs in that locker room, it's inevitable, and you go out there and you're playing for each other. That's what you do. And one big thing that we've been talking about this year is one another, and just going out there and playing for one another. And that's all that matters at the end of the day, because no accolade, you wake up the next day and no accolade really matters. Nobody really cares at the end of the day.
Yep.
And what matters is the relationships and just what you're doing and honoring the Lord with everything. So.
Now, I know the home runs didn't come as much as you'd want last season.
For sure.
Look, getting on base and getting hits is fine too. It doesn't have to go over the fence. But with someone like I know, but someone like you, I'm sure in the back of your mind, gosh, I know how to get to 18. Describe your expectations for this coming season.
So last summer, not this upcoming summer, I ended up breaking my toe. I actually played on it for 2 years, but my toe was broken, and so I had to take that whole summer off. And the summer's where I do all my work. That's where, I'm in the weight room, I'm running, I'm doing everything that I need to do. And I wasn't able to do that going into last year. So obviously being healthy, I was able to do that this summer, and I feel good. I'm just praying that the healthiness sustains itself, and we should be good to go.
Okay, we'll go to you now, Greenlee. Obviously, last year, a real big contributor for our team that made it all the way to the GAC Tournament Championship. How was your off season, and what are you kind of looking for here in 2026 to be another potent force for the team?
Honestly, I'm just looking to help my team any which way I can. It's not just about me. It's, I'll have bad days, I'll have good days, but even on my bad days, what can I do to help us get further, kind of like we did last season? I know it didn't ended, how we wanted it to, but, I'm excited for this season. I think everybody's in for a surprise.
Well, we were picked second in the GAC, and I know I catch your drift there, but I was kind of surprised we were picked second, and I'm not trying to get into pointing fingers and, well, we should have been here, we should have been there, but obviously with the team we have back, we've got a nice, energetic, spirited field head coach. I mean, you guys have got to be thinking we can win a championship this year.
If I'm being honest, as soon as those, rankings came out, that was the first thing that was on my mind. And, take it day by day, but with the type of team that we have this year and the more depth that we have, and, it's not just a team, it's a sisterhood. The closer relationships we have got this year, compared to, like, even the teams that I have been on is, undescribable. So the first thing that I thought of was, like, that championship's ours this season, and we're going to do any which way we can to make sure that's ours.
Okay. Allie, I'll come back to you now. Last season, we had a whole bunch of freshmen come in and make some big plays at key moments. The Kaylee Davis, 15th inning home run late in the regular season. Nichelle Marshall comes up with that huge GAC tournament hit. You had a game-winning hit as well. But describe what you think the freshmen that were on the team last year can do to come in and be successful contributors again, in opportune times like we saw several moments last year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously I played as a freshman too. And as you come in as a sophomore with that experience, it's drastically different. I mean, the confidence, the IQ, the everything, it's just different. And I think those players, all of them will play for us again this year for sure. And I think they're going to do everything that they did last year and probably more.
Okay. Greenlee, describe the makeup of this roster. I think was it 25 players or 23? Forgot that number right off the top of my head. But describe the sisterhood as you described it just a moment ago.
Honestly, it's insane. And I know, there's people I can go to even if, maybe I don't talk to the most, but every single one of these players on this team I can go to and I know they have my back no matter what, on and off the field. If I'm having problems off the field, I can talk to every single one of them. And then, on the field, if I make a mistake, that same exact person will pick me up. So it's a constant sisterhood that keeps going. Like, like you fail, well, I got you. I'll pick you up right behind you. So it's awesome to say the least.
Allie, Coach Brewer just said something that was quite interesting. We could have 3 different players with 40 stolen bags, which would be total insanity, by the way. Yeah, that's me, right. What's your career number?
Like 3.
Okay. I based that comment. What have you seen from the practices the last 4 months leading into this next weekend? What do you think of the team we have this year?
You mean like from a stolen base perspective?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean just from he said versatility. Mm-hmm. What do you see on the field?
Absolutely.
Heading into the year.
I think we have a lot of athletes that can play 2, 3, 4 positions. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there's like one of those things where somebody gets hurt or somebody's not performing. It's really easy to be like, bam, okay, let's switch it around and we're just as good, like easily just as good. And that's huge. That's powerful. And there's days when some kids just need a mental break or whatever. Yeah. And we can move it around and we're just as good.
Okay. Greenlee, last question for you. I thought our defense was really good last year. Jaycee helped a lot, but we had some good speed. Kaylee Cook in the outfield. Collectively on the defensive front, what do you think of this Bison lineup?
Honestly, I think it's going to be a little bit better than last season because we have experience all around. And, even people coming in from the portal, freshmen coming in, we're good all around. And like I had mentioned a while ago, excuse me, we have depth. So, like Allie said, if, someone gets hurt, well, we have 2 or 3 other people that can play that exact spot. And, like you had mentioned, Jaycee was our main key last season. So, having her back and having, Kaylee Cook back, who was also one of our main keys last year, it's very, very helpful. And I think this year is going to be better because every person has experience and every person that plays in a position wants to play and they want the ball, they want to win. And so I think it's very helpful.
Okay. Greenlee, Allie, I want to thank you for your time. Good luck next weekend in Texas, and we'll see you soon. You're welcome. That's Greenlee Wells and Allie Ryan. We'll take one final timeout. When we come back, we'll talk with senior pitcher Jaycee Shaffer.
To see the extraordinary in the ordinary, to think for yourself, but not by yourself. This is how we shape the future. Whether inspiring creative storytellers or cultivating compassionate healers, whether creating the classroom of tomorrow or shaping a happy, fulfilling life for others, ours is a mission fueled by vision and purpose, biblically rooted and practically relevant, in the classroom, on the stage, throughout life. Be a future shaper at OBU.
One final segment here as we preview the Bison softball team's 2026 campaign, and we've got senior pitcher Jaycee Shaffer joining us now. Jaycee, obviously last year you came in and were just a real MVP of this team, got 18 wins, only a few losses. How sweet was that to come in after you replaced a great pitcher and being able to help our staff in the circle?
Yeah, it was really fun. And I mean, I just went out and was like, I just want to have fun and do my thing. It was awesome to be able to go out and succeed for everyone and for myself. You know, it's really awesome.
I saw you training over at the Rock a few times, I think over the summer and maybe into the fall. Can you describe what your off season was like and how you could improve for the team for this coming season?
Yeah, my goal for the off season was just lift heavy and then pitch. So I was like, just get as many reps as I can because just pitching helps with pitching. So it was like, just go work out, go throw, and I just wanted to come back as best as I could.
Yeah. What would you say your strengths are in the circle coming into your final year for the green and gold?
I feel like my strengths, I'm very chill.
Okay.
I feel like I'm very level-headed, and I think that's helpful in the circle, especially in big moments when everyone gets heated and tense. I'm just like, guys, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, we're good. And I'm pretty competitive, so I feel like that also helps me.
Okay. And then, as you are one of the leaders for this squad this year, do you what kind of a mental mindset do you take in trying to assist the newcomers in bettering the squad and hopefully, getting a championship in May?
Yeah, I try to just lead by example and push myself harder. And so hopefully people see that and hop on and get harder, push themselves harder. And I just want everyone to work hard, but also not take things too seriously. I feel like when stuff gets too serious, then it gets too tense and people can't play how they need to play. Yeah. So I try to just be easygoing, but also a little push every now and then.
Okay. Jaycee, you've been around Coach Brewer now for a couple of years. You've had Brady Rowland the last season. What have they kind of stressed to you heading into this senior campaign and being ready to go next weekend?
Yeah, our main stress is just be ready. I just need to do me and go out there and be ready to perform.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
All right. And maybe for the fans back at home, kind of take us through your pregame routine and being mentally ready and delivering out in the circle. There's your hard question, Jaycee. That's the hard question for you.
On the bus, I listen to fantasy music, and it really helps me lock in.
What kind of fantasy music? Is this
it's
fantasy?
No, it's I read fantasy books.
Okay.
So I listen to music that's kind of like that and intense, and I just lock in, and then I go to the field and drink some water.
You like Lord of the Rings?
No, but I want to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
Great movies. Great movies. Okay. All right. I talked to Greenlee and Allie about leading, the newcomers and, kind of describe how you see your who you are in helping, the newbies that are kicking around here and trying to help us.
Yeah, I feel like my role is just, again, lead through example.
Okay.
And then also I want to try to get them as much experience too, and help them in practices. Oh, maybe try this, just to give them some feedback and advice when maybe they don't have any experience yet.
Okay, sure. All right. Tell us about some of the new pitchers. I've gotten to work with Coley Randall as a communications student assistant the last few months. Tell us about the pitching staff that's on this Bison roster.
We have I think it's a good staff, and it's pretty versatile. I feel like we all kind of throw super different and have different styles and speeds, and I think that will be super helpful, and we'll get to mix up around a bunch, and I'm excited.
Where can this team get in mid-May?
Hopefully super far.
Easy does it there, folks. All right, Jaycee, I want to thank you for your time. Good luck next weekend in Mansfield, Texas, and we'll see you later. You're welcome. That was senior pitcher Jaycee Shaffer. That does it for our preseason look at the Bison softball program. Again, they start their season next weekend down in Mansfield, Texas at the Lone Star Invite. Be sure to check out obubison.com for coverage links and previews of all their games starting next weekend. For Jaycee Shaffer, I'm Clayton Kaufman. We'll see you next time on the Bison Sports Network.